It's shed time. That means peace and quiet, user mail, connect with old friends, think deep thoughts, make stupid remarks, misunderstand half of those. It's us. It's the Shed Dogs. We're here. So are you. Lucky all of us. Let us go.
Yeah, so you guys know what association football is?
Is it a theory? Another one of those theories? Association football?
Association football theory. It was on Quirks and Quirks.
I do not know what association football is.
I mean, I've never heard that term either, but it's just soccer. Because I wanted to look up the concept of diving in soccer.
Oh, yeah.
And so you do that in Wikipedia. The article comes up, diving, then left parenthesis, association football, right parenthesis, because that's to differentiate it from diving into water.
How about dissociation football?
Dissociation football.
Do they have diving in that at least?
Yeah, but I think that's kind of fun. You know, basically, I think, PJ, we were talking in a previous episode about the women's soccer, the Vancouver Rise, and you made a comment that said, and they don't dive like the men do they? And I said, no, they do not. And indeed, they don't. I mean, I keep watching. It's so... For some reason, I guess because of that conversation, I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it's fascinating. Diving is an attempt by a player to gain an unfair advantage by falling to the ground and often feigning injury to give the impression that a foul has been committed. I just found it interesting that there's ways that you can tell that it's fake. And I don't know if a ref can do it on the fly, though. But if you go back and look at it on video and slow it down, you can definitely tell that it's fake. And by the way, if that's true, they should start doing it on video afterwards and penalizing the players. I think that would solve the whole problem. A 2009 study found that there are recognizable traits that can often be observed when a player is diving. They are, number one, a separation in time between the impact and the simulation.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah.
A lack of ballistic continuity. The player moves farther than would be expected from the momentum of the tackle.
Oh, it just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Yeah. Yeah. Jeez, what an ornate way to express that, eh?
Lack of contact consistency. The player nurses a body part other than the one where the impact occurs.
Yeah.
Oh, my eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one I like the most. The archer's bow pose, where the head is tilted back, chest thrust forward, arms raised, and both legs bent at the knee to lift both feet off the ground to the rear.
Yeah, it looks like you know what it looks like? It looks like that picture from the Spanish Civil War of that guy who's just been shot but hasn't fallen yet. His arms are up and his back is up and he's about to fall down dead.
Yeah.
And that picture.
Because Sue and I went to the Whitecaps recently because Dale, not a listener, and Tracy have a season's pass, so they invited us to come along, and so we enjoyed the game, but sure was a lot more diving and super rough play too.
Yeah,
and they're just running that tight line between a foul and not a foul.
Yeah,
like they're just playing as rough as they can. But sometimes you just see the hand come out, grab that uniform and yank. Just sometimes they don't care if they get called even a yellow card because there's too much of a chance that that they're going to score.
There's a lot of analogies to other sports like hockey, where there's some penalties you got to take. You got to take them because otherwise the guy has just such a gold-plated opportunity to score. But I'm really surprised that list doesn't say anything about the guy is down on the pitch, rolling around, calling for a surgeon, bring out the backboard, and then the call is either made or not. You know, the ref comes along and says, get up, loser head. Yeah. And the guy he awards the penalty, yellow card, somebody else. And the guy just springs to his feet and just launches. He doesn't even have to leave the field.
Does that actually happen a lot, though? I mean, I remember seeing it happen, but it's not that common, is it?
I just am really shocked because I have seen it. And you would think, if I was a ref and I saw a guy do that, I'd probably I'd card him. I'd go say, you were obviously lying and you tricked me into giving I mean, I know they probably are reluctant to do that because the ref will keep score and will come back.
And also the first time that happens, when they start having that policy, there's going to be big delays because the guys just got to stay laying there for a while, right?
Yeah. Yep. It is funny that Wikipedia immediately associates it with association football, though.
I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
The whole...
Because diving is an issue in lots and lots of sports.
Yeah.
It really is.
I really think retroactive penalties based on analysis should be they should have a whole team for that. And then that team would no longer be required. Like within a few months, the penalties would be so harsh that those dives are done, right? They're over.
I wonder if they think it has entertainment value. So if you polled all soccer fans, how many of them would say, geez, I love it when a guy gets away with a dive?
Really?
Well, I wonder.
Yeah.
Like, is it 10%, 1%, 0%?
BJ, you were looking for some follow-up on Burning Mom and West Side Story. Is that true? Or do you want me? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was, because Burning Mom, we got a story a while back where it was opening night, curtains gone down after, I believe, the first act, the power goes out at the end. And it was a bitter disappointment, and we never got a follow-up as to how did the rest of the run go.
Susan just left today for her run at the Belfry in Victoria. She will be home at the end of November. Woohoo! Party in the shed. Yes, a very successful run.
Well, good.
And so the first night, the power outage that happened, that when they were not notified about it and the whole audience had to go home, missed the second half, that did not hurt its chances of a good run.
No, all of those people would have come back. They would have got tickets to come back.
Well, if I recall right, I was wondering about the critics, the guys that write the reviews that drive the audiences subsequently, and did they all come back? And
the reviewers would not fault the club.
And so the question I had was, how did it go? Like, did you get good houses? Was it? And then that would also lead to a question of how much does it matter whether the stupid critics show up or not? Because if they had good houses after that, in spite of a lack of reviews, the indication is that word of mouth drives everything.
Oh, you're thinking the reviewers wouldn't have bothered showing up for the full play?
I think not, yeah.
I think they did.
Oh, okay.
I think. And, she always got a second curtain call, always got a standing ovation. And when she came back for one of the shows, somebody at the back of the house yelled, "We love you, Mom!"
Wow.
She sort of thought that people would think it was her son or something, but it just was some random person.
Nice.
It's too bad that it's not better written, but it'll change.
And what about West Side Story? How'd that go?
Excellent.
Fun? Big fun?
Yeah, it was great.
It's in episode 203, I think. West Side Story gets brought up again. I regret that, though, because I'm listening to the episode. Moby's telling us about how it's a high-end production. And I'm just like, I'm going to go to that. And I get home and it's just like,
That's right.
I'm just so unaware.
I'm tired.
And then also the fact that the episodes came out way too late for anybody else to benefit from hearing about it, too, which is a real shame. But I wished I would have gone. I would have loved to have seen that.
So at the lake, every once in a while, I would put on music on my computer. And in my music rotation, I have that stuff from the tapes that me and Ogre made when we were in London.
Yeah.
And I decided to listen to them.
Now, these are tapes where you sent some to people back home. Like
these are to Mike.
Yeah, these are letters to home.
Yeah. And Mike gave them back to us whenever.
And you and Ogre in London, this would be around 1975?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez, think of that. Holy smokes.
75, Christmas. And in one of the episodes, we burst into "When You're a Jet, You're a Jet" all the way, and we sing the whole little thing right to the very end. It's really quite fun, and I'm sorry I forgot that was in there.
Now, speaking of Ogre, so listeners, Ogre is yet another guy from the old hometown. Good guy.
Ogre of Nelson still?
Yeah. But at one point, when I bought my first motorcycle, it was a Honda Hawk 400, and he bought a Honda CR500, I think, which is a 500cc single-cylinder dirt bike. And if you don't know anything about any of that sort of stuff, a one-cylinder thing of that displacement has an enormous amount of torque. just really pulls hard.
It's a great big cylinder.
Yeah, and you get on that thing and you can open the throttle from like 400 RPM in third gear and just go. It'll pull all the way. This is really, really wild to ride. And I ran across something on social media where some guy was out riding a really old CR500 and he just had his GoPro on and he was ripping around, and the caption said something like all speed, no brakes. He's just roaring around. And I made a comment, said, I once rode one of these, because I rode that one he bought, I think once, and it was terrifying. Like, it's just wild to ride. And I just said, a guy I know had one of these back in the day. I rode it once. Good choice, Ogre, because I chose this kind of limpo street bike, and he chose that thing. I don't know whatever happened to it.
For some reason, I get it in my mind that a single cylinder requires the oil and gas to be mixed together.
Yeah, it's a two-stroke, I believe, engine is what that's called. And it was really...
So you don't have separate oil. You just put oil in with your gas.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Dale, not a listener, and I saw a Saab two-door sports car drive by the end-of-the-line cafe in North Vancouver. Looked it up. That thing had, I believe, I want to say 4, but it might have been more, cylinder, two-stroke engine powering it. And it drove by the cafe, and Dale said, you know what that is? And I thought, wait. And as soon as I could see the back, I guessed it was a Saab correctly.
Yeah.
But the idea that they had it's a race car, basically, a rally car, that had a two-stroke motor in it, and you could smell it when it went by, that distinctive oily smoke smell. It was super cool.
I mean, what do you think of the fact that you don't see Saabs on the road anymore to speak of?
I think they're out of business as a car manufacturer.
Yeah, they've been out of business for quite some time. I'm just wondering if that means that
durability.
They actually weren't that durable.
Yeah, I don't know. My brother Sam had one. It was really fun to drive.
There was something about the San Francisco. They were super popular there. Might have been the dealership had great ads or something. And maybe there were a lot of old Saabs there, and maybe that was because they don't have the snow, and therefore they don't have the salt, and maybe they don't rust.
Yeah, hard to say, because the old Saabs probably would have been in that two-stroke category, and they were really famous rally cars.
Sure, but that's the two-stroke ones.
But the next generation.
Yeah, the most common ones that you saw were just regular four-cylinder cars, right?
The ones that my brother had and ever since are all gas, I think, mostly. And I don't know why they're not around. I don't really know why they went out of business. Probably lots of reasons. I know even then parts and repair were difficult. It's a Swedish car, not too many dealers, you know. I don't know. It's fun anyways. Oh, I believe I had a big moneymaker on the list too.
Oh. Okay, moneymakers, go for it.
Always a moneymaker.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, this one's only going for about 2% because I think there are already regulations in place in almost every jurisdiction that would prevent this from ever happening. But it had to do with charity bar. I can't remember how it came. This was another product of a conversation Dale and I were having. But it was as a fundraiser. You know, sometimes people will have beer and a burger night. And I thought, why is that just for one-off fundraisers? Why don't you just open a whole bar and it's permanent and it's a registered charity and you get to drink beer and you get a tax receipt for your donations to that registered charity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's incents you to go drink at that bar. You get a little bit of your beer money back again in terms of a tax return. Why doesn't that? And then you'd raise a whole bunch of money for whatever charity it was. It'd be awesome. I just can't imagine why that wouldn't be super popular.
I mean, they would have to improve the burgers. Those charity places are noted for just awful food.
They are. But this would be a whole permanent 365 establishment business. They'd have a cook who cooked proper food. And they would, I don't know how the whole business of determining what your charitable contribution, because you're receiving a good or service for your money. So how can you deduct that?
Yeah.
But maybe you could deduct the amount of it that was profit to the bar.
Yeah, well, that's profit, not to the bar, but profit. It's a non-profit. It's donated to actual charities.
Yes, that's...
So, yeah, they'd have a percentage figure.
So I think that's an awesome idea. I think I would definitely prefer...
Wouldn't the business association have something to say about that?
Well,
wait a second, free beer.
There's probably the whole concept of sin taxes we tax alcohol, we tax cigarettes, we tax everything that's bad for us because they're sinful, probably conflicts with the idea of a permanent charity based on selling alcohol, probably. But I love the idea, though, because I would very much prefer to
pay a great idea.
An extra $1 for a beer, knowing that I would get to apply that $1 as a tax credit at some point. Well, why would I not?
So I've been going to a new place for foosball lately.
I see no take-up. Okay. Yeah?
Kind of dwindled
Kings, died?
No, yeah, 12 Kings died.
12
That's right.
Kings.
Quite a while ago. We've been playing at Soho Billiards down in Yaletown. But a new place, I don't know how new it is, but they put some good foosball tables into it. A place called Mench Café. It's kind of interesting. It's a gaming cafe. You basically go in there and pay $10, and you can stay for however long you want that day. So you pay your $10, and then in my case for foosball, so you just go play free foosball for the rest of the night. But this place has been around for a while, and it's got board games. The kids, they like to play their board games, right? So you got your Wingspan or whatever, those Sailors of Catan. I think I said that wrong. Somebody of Catan. You know that game?
No.
Oh, my God.
I thought you were going to say Monopoly and backgammon.
Yes,
Scrabble.
They do have Monopoly and backgammon. And then there's a back room, which is pretty cool. It has 4 sofas, side by side with some gaps between them. And then in front of each sofa is a massive big screen TV and a console, PlayStation or something
Gaming
like
room.
that. So people can go with their friends, and 4 of them can sit on the sofa beside each other and play PlayStation. And there's even a LAN area where you basically, each of you has your own screen, and you're playing LAN games against each other. Yeah, the whole thing's pretty cool.
Is it in-out privileges? Like you pay your $10 and you need to go out to get a burger at the charity bar?
No, because they sell burgers and whatnot as well. They sell food there, and I do not know if there are in-out privileges.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you get there and...
Settlers of Catan.
Settlers, that's it. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Settlers of Catan. So you did know about it.
No.
You just remembered it?
Yeah, I've heard reference to it. I don't know what it means exactly.
Oh my God, it's huge.
I thought it was one of those farm games that you can just go back to, but it's actually
it's a board game, hugely popular amongst the millennials.
Them.
And of course, it's a moneymaker because they keep bringing out new versions of it that kind of add on to your original kit.
But it's a board game. It's not an online game.
No. Oh. I mean, there might be online versions of it, but...
Oh, okay.
So I had one other question before I talk about what a great idea that sounds like. Can a mensch be any gender?
Well, it's not a mensch, which is the Jewish name for a good guy.
Stand-up guy,
good person. It's M-E-N-C-H, so it rhymes with tench. And you go in the front door, and there's a sign, Mench Café, and a finger pointing up. So you go up the stairs, and then you get to a certain point in the stairs, and a finger's pointing sideways. And you move over there, and then there's a light on the floor that shows Mench Café, and a finger pointing up. And so you twist to some... Next thing you know, you've gone up to the 3rd floor, and you're in this special place. Kind of neat.
But thank you for that.
And that's my report.
That was... That was fascinating.
Any questions? No? Okay. Yeah. What's the next topic?
Okay, so you don't know either.
Oh, you go ahead. What's the question?
What the hell is a mensch then?
Maybe the name of the person. I don't really know. I'll ask him next time. That's
Eddie Mench?
It's a great question.
My name's Joey Mench.
It's probably Joey Mench.
Well, okay, well...
It's a family operation.
No, it does sound great, actually. Though.
I mean, when I was going there the first time, I went to their website to get the address, and it was, 206 West 1st Avenue, North Vancouver. And so I plug it into the GPS, and then going, there's no such address. But the GPS kind of auto-corrects it to 206 West 1st Avenue, Vancouver. And it's right in the northern end of Vancouver. And I'm thinking, they got the wrong address. It's actually 1st Street. And so I write them an email.
That's pretty bad,
right? I send them an email saying, just to let you know, in these 2 pages, you have the wrong address, and people from out of town are going to end up in the northern part of Vancouver thinking that is North Vancouver. And,
no, that is bad.
So they sent me a note back that said, we've been trying to get Google to fix that.
Oh.
So I sent them a note back, and I said, no, Google is correct and yours is wrong. Anyway, and then someone who clearly to me looked like the owner, a new guy, said, "Thank you so much for letting us know. We'll get that fixed."
Did he sign it, Joey? Was it Joey Mench?
No, but I mean, I know the owner. The owner cooked our burgers.
Oh,
and by the way, the burgers are amazing.
Honestly, it sounds like a really fun thing. I think it is.
It's a little bit. It's a family op, and it's. I think it's one of those things where they go, we should, because by the way, these gaming places are not new. They're a great one in Portland, a really good one in Seattle. Most cities have one of these places, right? And there's probably even one more in Vancouver somewhere that I've forgotten about. But this is a family operation, and I go up and I order my burger, and the kid says to me, okay, it's going to take quite a while. And it's not a busy night, right? So I say, sure, fine, whatever. I don't care. Like, we're playing foosball anyway. And it does take quite a while. And then we finally get our burgers, and I take them back, and we can't tell which one's the veggie burger because it's
it's convincing.
It's the kind that's convincing, right? So then we go back up, and the father who did the cooking, I think he's the owner, he goes, I marked it with a V, right? And he goes away, and his son comes up to me and says, "It looks more like an N." Which I think is quite funny that there's this whole thing going on. So we go back, and we still can't find it. So we bring it up with us.
Where's the V?
And where is the V?
Where's the
and
N?
The outside is kind of aluminum foilish, and it's kind of hard to see, but he's marked it. It looks just like an N, right? And the kid's going, it's a V, right? I just thought the whole thing, like, it was all unnecessary. Like, I didn't have to know that it really looks. I guess I did, in case I'd look at an N and go, what's going on here?
Who can know?
Yeah, anyway,
that whole business.
I thought it was quite. I don't think it's funny for the podcast, but
I think the idea that they've got their address wrong is tragic, though. Jeez,
they fixed it though.
Yeah, they need to fix that.
I don't know if it's still there, but one of the pubs on Commercial was a gaming pub. But it didn't, not big games, but it was for certainly board games.
Yep.
And for people to go and play cards and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's survived.
This one's a little unique in that it's not licensed, so it's all ages.
I kind of assumed that when you said it was family oriented. I thought,
And the appeal with the two guys who have their tables there is that they, there's always this desire to get foosball to grow, right?
Yeah.
And it is through a growth pattern right now, but it's still not skyrocketing or anything. The idea is, get youth tournaments going.
Yeah.
So part of that is to have a place that youth can go with.
$10 is a pretty sweet deal.
I think so.
I was kind of thinking that same thing. I was trying to do arithmetic in my head. Would you really, on an ordinary night, would each of the guys that used to go to 12 Kings spend $10 just on foosball? Like just on plugging the machines?
Well, what happened was after many years, like dating back, I believe, to the 80s, certainly to the early 90s. I think in the 80s, the foosball costs went up to a loonie.
Oh.
Right? And then at no point has it ever increased since.
Well, yeah.
I asked Cam, why don't you start charging $1.25? He said, because dealing with the quarters is a pain, right? All that rolling and all that stuff, like whereas dealing with loonies, it's worth it to a roll of loonies is $25 and you can do it quickly.
Yeah, but doesn't that eventually get to, you could just do a toonie after so many years?
And that's exactly what happened. So finally, about 6 months ago, they switched, in this case, they switched it to 2 loonies. Because they had the mechanism was easier to change. Yes. I guess it wasn't big enough for toonies or something.
Right.
Well,
but what is the time? What is the time of a game?
That'd be like 20 games in a night, eh?
So the $10 may or may not be economic, but just the freedom of just being, it's like when you go to Disneyland, you just buy one pass and then from then on you go on every ride and you don't have to think about, is this ride worth it or not?
Plus, if you got sort of fed up, you could just go play some other game.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be awesome.
Exactly. Griffin and I even played Jenga while we were waiting to play foosball.
Nice.
So, it's a pretty cool place. Anyway, listeners, right in Lower Lonsdale, not far from the SkyTrain or the C bus station.
How busy was it?
I mean, we were there on a Saturday night, and it was not as busy as I thought it would be. And I think the Friday night we were there was busier. One of the appeals of it is it's quieter than Soho. Soho is a loud bar. Even on Monday nights, it gets pretty noisy in there. when I was last there, which was Saturday night, someone said, wow, it's loud in here. And I just realized there was a family who had been playing a board game together, and all of a sudden they had music playing, and they were doing these dances. And I think the dances may have had something to do with the game they were playing.
Oh, really?
But it was quite cool, actually. They were doing these, what looked to me like Arabic or Middle Eastern kind of dances or something.
Ethnic dancing.
I mean, that's pretty close to Little Iran, right? Little Persia there.
Beats me. I'll take your word for it.
Oh, really? North Van around 15th on Lonsdale is all about Persian restaurants.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, yep. There's a lot of Persian people that live there as well.
100. Every money exchange in there is Persian guys. But I, for some reason, thought we were talking about West First in... Where
North
is
Van.
it again?
North Van. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Sorry, I really lost the call.
No, well, that's on me. But
Persian seller.
Persian seller from North Van.
Toby. Obi.
And I will just...
just what?
Oh. So listeners, that's Mench Café, 106 West 1st Street, North Vancouver, BC. And the two guys that have placed their tables there, I don't know what their arrangement, or they're just doing it to grow the game. I don't really know.
So 106 West 1st Street in North Vancouver is not Little Persia at all, I don't think.
No, well, it's 14 blocks from it, so I wouldn't say at all. I would say it's in the general area.
Okay. Let's just
14 blocks. I guess that's...
not even.
Okay. Anyway, that's all I got.
Willie. I get it.
You've been working quite a bit lately, eh?
I had my busiest July ever, and it was all in Langley.
Right. When something's the heart?
Well, there's that, and the other. I had 3 things, and they were all in Langley. Lots of times coming home after midnight, single lane from 264th because of the construction. You think, well, it's midnight. Well,
backed up.
Oh my God! And it just drove me nuts. Like I thought people who have to work in Vancouver from out there.
Well, do they just do single lane at night then?
Yeah, 8:30 to 5:30, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
At 4 a.m, people are moving. I think the stock exchange people start at 4 a.m. in Vancouver because it's 7 a.m. in New York, right? And so I think they work on New York time, so they start at 4. So there's a lot of people heading downtown, or like more than you'd think. Like I was just thinking, what are all these people doing out here in the middle of the night? Anyway, it drove me a little bit nuts. Thank God I don't have any work.
Well, yeah, but you got lots of work, so that's nice.
Yes, it was nice. It bought me a truck, really.
Hey, guys, I got the thing skin. I know you've had it. Moby, have you ever had the basal cell carcinomas?
No.
Little cancers on your face?
No.
You've never had that? Yeah, and it's fairly common, I think, amongst people.
Oh, yeah. I had something shaved off.
Yes?
Yeah, she looked at it and said, okay, let's just do this. Let's just take it off. And it wasn't.
Yeah. So they did the biopsy.
Yes.
Yeah, I have this one up here, and it started little blood coming out of it about, 4 years ago or something like that. And so I took it into the doc, and he did we'll just remove it with some nitrogen here, frozen, low temperature.
Yeah.
And then if it comes back, maybe you should have a biopsy. So he did that, and 2 years later it came back.
Did I tell you years ago when I first started going down this track with that stuff, the dermatologist I went to was somebody from somewhere in Eastern Europe based on accent, I would guess. So she was kind of all business. Mm-hmm. She didn't have a soft bedside manner.
Yeah.
And she basically said, guys your age didn't have a chance. The damage is done by the time you're 20 years old. And when you were 20 years old, they hadn't even invented sunscreen yet. So you were going to have this problem.
Well, not the high SPF stuff.
Well,
I used to put on the CN ski when I was a child.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would have been SPF 2 or something.
And it is, she said, by the time you're 20, the damage is done. You're headed for this. By the time you're 20, if you're headed, you're done.
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, that's depressing. Because I am going to end up, I'm being referred to a dermatologist again. I'm going to have another mother of all chemical peels done on my,
chemical peels.
You have to do that again?
Yeah. Basically, they put this stuff, you put it on your skin, and it doesn't bother undamaged skin, but all the skin that has got squamous cells. Okay. It's the stuff where your skin's kind of scaly.
Is it a basal cell carcinoma?
It is the precursor to it, I think. I'm not really 100% sure.
Okay, all right.
But anyways, what this stuff does, it just burns that stuff right off.
And does it hurt?
Yeah. Oh, it really hurts. And what happens is nice, fresh baby's behind skin grows in.
Oh, that's nice.
And then fails because you're old and your head was really damaged. I don't know. I had it on my face and it's stayed worked for a long time, but on my head it didn't really take.
Well, when my GP first said, let's get a biopsy done, he said, do you mind going out to Langley? And I said, well, I'd prefer a closer place. He says, okay, how about New Westminster? I said, sure. I asked him after that first one, because I came back in to my GP. I said, so why did you recommend the Langley person? Yeah. He says, I just know them and I know they could do good work. That was it. It was not because Langley...
Did you take him at his word there?
They are renowned for solving all these things.
Well, he knows the specific doctor, so that's fine. So, and he would have referred people. He did say that it's faster. They have less of a lineup, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, because the reason I asked him was because the New West guys were just a factory. They had like,
it's just bumping
4 receptionists lined up.
Yeah.
In a large area with a lot of rooms. And then just people are moving around. I'm part of the pipeline. It's into this room to come in, do this. Okay, draw a circle around the area, and then the lady comes in, and the nurse comes in and gives me the freezing. And then 2 minutes later, in comes the person. They take the biopsy, right? And it was pretty similar to that. My next visit, which was because the biopsy came back positive, the next visit was to come and actually cut the cancer out. And then do a final biopsy. So anyway, I said it was kind of like a factory in there, but they seemed to do okay work. And he says, okay. Anyway, in the second visit, when they actually do we're going to cut the cancer out, I had a checklist that I had to sign. It said, I acknowledge that I was given the following information by the surgeon, right? And part of the checklist was treatment alternatives. And there was a list of treatment alternatives there. And so she said, I said, can I take the clipboard in? She said, oh, yeah, lots of patients like take that clipboard with the thing in this to talk to the surgeon. So the surgeon, young woman, she breezes in quickly and she starts talking to me. And it's like she has made this speech 8,000 times.
Yeah.
And including the alternatives speech. And so she went through, the first thing is do nothing. And sometimes these things, they just sit there for the rest of your life, and maybe your GP will nitrogen them off from time to time, and they don't tend to spread. But they might go a little deeper, and sometimes there's some things, bad things can happen. So there's do nothing. Nobody wants to do nothing, I don't think. And then there was one other alternative I can't remember. And then there's actually a clinic where you go out there, and they do the surgery, and then they cut out the cells to find out if they got it all. Because after they do the surgery, they also cut some more cells out to send to the lab. Well, this one, they take those cells out and they take them right over to a microscope while you wait. And then they check, and if they didn't do it properly, then they'll cut out some more, right? She said, but there's a 1-year waiting list for that. And I said, okay, well, what are the odds you're going to get it all? She said, oh, very good. I said, like 1 in 100 that that I'll need to get cut again? She goes, yeah, 1 in 100, if that. So I found that interesting that she didn't have an actual number for me. But so I did the math, or not did the math. I just thought it through, and I thought, I'm not going to wait a year, so I'll just go ahead with it. And so,
yeah, that seems like a really crazy trade-off. Our friend Enzo had that whole approach.
I remember that, yeah.
But he had already had a few go-rounds with having stuff cut out of his...
Oh, so he did the thing where you get to go out
He then, and I think probably because he'd already had a couple go-rounds, he probably didn't have to wait a year to get his shot at the live review.
Yeah,
we'll just keep carving until it's gone.
Yeah. Susan's done that twice now. And it's the 8 hour or 6 to 8 hours, because you sit there and you wait for them to go to the lab and then come back. A little bit more, go to the lab. And she got COVID, right? We canceled for COVID.
Did she get right back in?
She phoned. She said, do I tell them? Her surgery was the next day. Do I tell them? Do I tell them? Do I go in with COVID, but just don't tell them? And she did tell them.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
they said, nope, don't come in.
Yeah.
And she sort of looked it up on the ever informative internet, and it says, yeah, if you have COVID, it just slows down healing in general, and it can lead to different things. So it's probably smart. But the thing is that with those, you gotta, because it's on her face, you need 6 weeks recovery where there's no pressure on so you can't lift things.
6 weeks.
You're not supposed to go upstairs and stuff. You can't even lean over.
What happens if you do any of that?
It's just the pressure can...
It might break open.
I'm not sure.
So she probably had a bigger area or a deeper.
Well, I wonder if it's more...
Does this have to do with scarring?
Maybe that's what it is, because they're all on her face.
I got the Frankenstein scar.
So did Enzo.
And I actually don't care. Right?
Yeah, same. I'll
show the kids in the schoolyard. Hey, look at my scar.
I mean, I got one here, right in the middle of my face. When I shave, it's really obvious. I got one on my shoulder and my thigh, and they're all Frankensteinian, right?
Yeah.
Just whatever. Like I care. I've already had 60 stitches in my face. I don't care about another 5.
Did you have your stitches taken out by your GP or by the surgeon?
For my recent shoulder surgery?
No.
This thing?
Yeah.
I believe I took them out myself.
You rebel.
Wow.
Well, I really have had 60 stitches or so.
Oh, so you've been around the block and you know.
What was this one?
This was one of those things where some cells they want to get out of there, some damage they want to remove, and they just cut a big hunk out, and then they sew it up again.
A one-off.
Yeah, and I had one on my shoulder, and I had one on my thigh. And
they were happy that they...
Yeah, I don't know what they did to determine their happiness. I don't care. They didn't call me back and say, we have to go and take the other half of your face. They never did that.
Well, I was going to, I Googled, does getting stitches out hurt? Because the theory is that it doesn't. And so the bot came back with, most of the time you don't even feel it, So, because I was going to take the opioid, for...
Yeah, so let's see. If you experience constipation, do you immediately take opioids?
I haven't had that whole issue.
hangnail? Is that an opioid worthwhile thing to do?
Yeah.
Jeez, that wind's chilly. I need some opioids.
Funny you should say that because constipation is a byproduct of opioids. But
I know I have had a lot of stitches in my face, and I will say, in fairness to everybody, like when you have a thing where they cut a sample out of your face or they do some sort of surgery,
yes,
you probably do get the guy to take it out, because I've had it in my mouth before where they put 2 sort of levels of stitch in. I once was hit with a puck here, up and down, and my teeth cut the inside of my mouth quite badly. So they go in and they put a layer of stitches in really deep, and then they put another layer on the outside.
Yes.
They do the same with surgery, depending on how far they're going.
That's right.
Probably don't mess with those ones on your own. But if you just
the deep ones are self-dissolving.
Yeah, but the point is, I don't know if they're connected at all deliberately, or I just
2 separate ones.
Because when I do myself, eventually what happens is they become loose in place, and you just cut the string near the knot, and then you just pull the knot, and it just comes right out. It doesn't hurt. Once I pulled the wrong end. I cut the string and I pulled the non-knot end. And in my usual effort, like when you take a Band-Aid off, you don't ease it off, you just rip it off, right?
Ooh.
And I did that with a stitch.
Pulled the knot through?
Ooh, boy. No, it didn't go through. Just hurt like crazy.
And you had to go back and go the other way?
No, didn't do anything. It just hurt. And I just pulled it the other way.
Yeah, you pull it the other way.
But the bigger ones, I probably wouldn't do it either.
Yeah, no, I went in there. I mean, the bot came back with, you're not even going to feel it. And I went in there, and of course it hurt every time. Every stitch she pulled out hurt.
Is that right?
But I don't care really. It wasn't like the end of the world. You just sit there and
body it.
Try not to cry. Yeah. Okay, I got to feed the dog.
Yeah, and it's time for us to go anyway.
That was just as exciting as I thought it was going to be. That was really great. We had so much fun. So, I don't know whether you guys experienced it that way or not. Not you two in the shed. I know you did. I certainly know Buddy did. But our listeners, I think, probably are going to have found that very stimulating. And you guys that are listening, you should write in and tell us how wonderful it was. Gold bullion, all of it. Send it. But mainly, be good. Be good to yourselves and your friends and the people you love. We'll still be here. Talk to you soon.
Deep thoughts.